I honestly hope that if you are watching this right now, it is not dark and you are not alone, because I'm going to be telling you 3 true scary Japanese horror stories that actually may make you shit yourself. So the first story centers around a woman that lurks in the gaps in your rooms. Her name is quite literally Tsukima Onna, or the Gap Woman. So you know how you have gaps or like crevices, like say under your bed, you may have a crack under there. She could be lurking under there, or under your doorway, she could be right there. So in Japan, there was one man, typical office worker, and his coworker started noticing that he was not showing up to work that week, which was very unusual for him. When they went to his house, or his apartment at the time, they noticed that he was very unkept. The apartment was just in disarray. And when they asked him what was wrong, he said he did not want to leave her alone, referring to the Gap Woman. And this is one of the ways she tends to target people. I saw someone doing setting powder before they applied their makeup and stuff, so we're gonna try it out. But anyways, so the main 2 ways she targets you is when she has her eyes set on you, then you're done. So the first way is what the man had went through. You don't leave your home and you just become emaciated and basically a shell of yourself. Like you just kind of deteriorate over time without leaving your home. And the second way is she just drags you to hell. Now, right now, you may be wondering, how can I avoid this woman? And to be quite frank with you, you can't. As I said earlier, you're gonna have gaps in your home. It's completely normal. I have cracks and gaps all over my room. Now, if she decides to pay you a visit, well, good luck. Now, the next story is a bit more on the creepier side. This one talks about a lady who was stuck at an abandoned train station, or actually a train station that didn't even exist. Now, the story of Kisaragi Station was posted onto 2chan in 2004 by a woman by the name of Hasumi. And it's a series of threads that documents her experience, like pretty much like live, like as she's going through it, and asking and reaching out for help from fellow 2chan users. Now this thread was titled "Post About Strange Occurrences Around You," thread 26, and it starts off with Hasumi explaining how she awoke in a train carriage and all of the passengers were asleep. Now this is the start, or this marks the start of the strange events that were about to unfold into the night for her. Now, if you guys don't know, train rides can be pretty long, so it's not okay, sorry, my dog just whatever. It's not abnormal to sleep, but to have everyone simultaneously asleep when you're the only one awake, that's odd. Now, this train ride was her usual commute to work, but her and other users were sharing the same concerns and confusion because it was just very abnormal. And she could also not get a hold of any of the workers on board, like the conductor or, the person that kind of goes down the aisles and asks if you need anything. She couldn't get a hold of any of those people. Now, after about an hour or so, the train finally made a stop at Kisaragi Station. And after Hasumi had posted this update, users began commenting how there was no such station and they were giving her advice on how to get out. So she immediately tried to locate a taxi, but her efforts were proved futile when she couldn't locate any other signs of life nearby aside from the people that were already at the station or on the train. So she eventually locates a telephone booth and dials her parents, but her parents can also not locate her at all. So they advised her to go dial emergency services in Japan. And once she had dialed in, they thought it was a prank. So they kind of left her hanging basically. So eventually, after this occurrence happened with the telephone and trying to call for help, Asumi noticed that there was almost a festival of some sorts going on, but she got a very strange and ominous feeling, and it scared her enough to where she ran onto nearby train tracks and tried to escape through there. And someone yelled out to her, "Don't do that, it's dangerous." And when she turned around, she saw a one-legged man, and he was an apparition who vanished almost as quickly as she saw him. This scared her even further, and she ran through a tunnel, which when she made it out, she found a mysterious man. Now, although she found it very weird, the man was very friendly and offered Hasumi, help to get out of there. So she followed him, but over time he began to become more and more quiet, which she found very odd and, just unsettling overall. And then eventually she updated, which was her last update to the forum, that the man was talking to himself about bizarre things and that her phone battery was running out, so it would be her last update. And then after that, the story ends there, which, wow. And our final story is the cursed Kleenex commercial that aired in the mid-80s in Japan, but it was rumored to be cursed. And let's get more into that. So the cursed Kleenex commercial features a woman dressed like she has a white dress on and a child painted in red depicted as an oni. And for those of you who don't know, an oni is basically like a troll in Japanese folklore. There's even a game based around an oni. It's, like a purple one. I can include a picture. Maybe you guys recognize it. But anyways, let's get back to the story. So a lot of viewers found this ad to be very disturbing, and this led to it being pulled off air. And although the lyrics are in English, a lot of people also believed that the lyrics were actually a rough translation in German, which meant die, die, everyone is cursed and will die, which further fueled people's scared levels, however you say it. Now, further rumors had stated that the red body paint that was used on the child who was depicted as the Oni had actually passed away due to the paint, and the actress who was in the white dress in the commercial had a really severe breakdown and was institutionalized and also gave birth to a demon baby. Also, too, if you happen to watch this commercial at midnight on the dot, it actually becomes very distorted and overall just even more creepy than it originally is. Now, do I have the balls to test this out for myself? No. But if any of you lovely people want to comment if it works, be my guest. I will give you a hug or something. I don't know, but I'm not doing it. Also, happy fucking October, you guys. This is one of my favorite months. So we're going to be amping up the content with the scary shit and more true crime stuff because you know what? It's October and I am so excited for Halloween. Oh my fucking God. But anyways, you guys have a great day. It is my self-care day. So I'm logging out now, but you guys enjoy the rest of your day.
Let's get this money. It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and needing me. Money coming in repeatedly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly. Money coming, it's just money coming. Money.
Let's talk about a Japanese urban legend of the slit-mouthed woman. And there are many different versions of this story, but I'll be sharing the most popular version of this legend. So it's this really beautiful Japanese woman who was married to a samurai. And legend says that she began to grow lonely because her husband was always away from home fighting. She began to have affairs with men around the town. And when the samurai heard about this, he was outraged, y'all. And as punishment, her husband sliced the corners of her mouth from ear to ear. And in some other versions of the tale, her mouth was mutilated during a medical and dental procedure by a woman who was jealous of her beauty. But after her death, the woman returned as a vengeful spirit. And she's often wearing a surgical mask covering her face. And some other interactions said that she's been seen, holding a hand fan or some type of handkerchief. And she's always carrying some type of sharp instrument with her. Some people say a knife, a machete, or some type of large scissors. And she's often described as having supernatural speed as well. And she is said to ask her potential victims, is she attractive or am I beautiful? But you have to be very careful with what you answer because this could be life or death. If the person answered no, she would kill them with her weapon. And if the person answered yes, she will reveal her mutilated mouth. And then she'll repeat her question even with this, and then she'll show her face. And if the person says no or scream in fright, it is over for you, y'all. And if they still say yes after she showed her mutilated mouth, she would slice the person's mouth from ear to ear to make them look exactly like her. But there is ways around this. If you encounter her, all you have to do is basically be like, I'm in a rush, I have a meeting, I have somewhere to be. And she'll bow and be like, I'm sorry, or excuse me. So there is ways around, avoiding her. But I heard if you say yes to both of her questions, she might leave you alone. But then in some versions it say she'll come to your home later on and murder you in your sleep. But if you basically make it seem like you are in a rush, she will apologize and leave you alone. So basically just keep on moving. Just keep on moving if you ever think you encounter her. And I also read that you can distract her by throwing money or candy that basically would distract her so you can basically run away and walk off from her. But let me know if y'all ever heard the legend of the sliced-mouthed woman. I believe there's actually a movie inspired by this, but this is a very popular legend in Japan, and it is very creepy. So what would y'all do if y'all encountered with her?
Do not attempt anything described in this video. Please.
Ushi no Toki, or the Hour of the Ox, is the period of darkest night in Japanese folklore.
Around 2 a.m. to 2:30, the period between the world of the living and the world of the dead is said to be the thinnest, and this is the easiest time to contact those on the other side. Ushi no Toki Mairi is a shrine visit that takes place during this time, specifically to put a curse on your enemies. Step 1. Gather attire. Wear all white. Also wear gettous shoes like the ones pictured in these images. Get a cast iron trivet like the one pictured and turn it upside down and wear it like a crown. Stick lit candles on the legs. Step 2. Gather your supplies. You'll need a wara ningyo, or a straw doll, and hair, fingernails, or a photo of the person you want to curse to stick into the doll. You'll need a 6-inch iron nail and a hammer as well. Step 3. Go to a shrine during Ushi no Toki, find the shrine's sacred tree, and nail the straw doll to the tree, effectively breaking the barrier between the world of the living and the spirit world. Step 4. Repeat this for 7 nights. You must not be seen. Any witnesses must not live to see the daylight, or the curse will rebound on the caster. If the ritual is completed successfully, the cursed victim will meet a terrible misfortune or even death. Kifune Shrine in Kyoto is a well-known location for this ritual. Even today, temple officials will find straw dolls nailed to the trees by people seeking revenge.
Bestie, quick update. Last night we went to a dark road and we played the creepy game that is called Teke Teke. If you don't know who Teke Teke is, it's a Japanese legend of a ghostly girl who was cut in half after getting pushed on the train tracks. Why is that showing on camera? Hold up, let me turn it. That's weird. I swear there's something over there. It's like right there. What is that? Hello? Hell no. Hell no. Wait. People were literally screaming at me in the comments on my live stream. They were telling me that it was Teke Teke in Japan. I was so confused because I thought it was only in Japan. That's why I did it for fun. But oh my god.
Japanese mythical beings you never knew existed. If you see a woman with long black hair walking alone at night, don't approach her. She could be a Harionago. Harionago roughly translates to needle girl. She gets her name from the thorn-like barbs at the ends of her hair, which she has direct control over. Of course, from afar, the average person won't know, and once you get too close, it's too late. When you approach, she'll smile at you, and if you return the grin, she'll go on the attack. Her hair will lash out at you at lightning speeds and rip into your flesh. She'll then rip you apart with her hair and then devour you. While no one can overpower a Harionago, you cannot run her. If you manage to hide in a place with strong doors and windows, you might be able to survive until morning when she'll disappear. That's all for today. Like for more content about Japanese mythical beings. Bye!
This is the scariest Japan urban legend.
Ooh.
Manto. And this urban legend says that it haunts the bathroom stalls in Japan. Just like, it's certain ones. It's only the bathroom stalls that look a little bit ran down. While you're in this bathroom, if you happen to run out of toilet paper, you'll see a man in a mask, and he will give you 2 options. He will ask you, you want red paper or blue paper? Depending on your answer is how you die. Red paper means that he will basically cover the stall in blood, and not just anybody's blood, your blood.
That's fucked.
If you choose blue paper, then he will suffocate you and drain you of all your blood. You will look blue afterwards from lack of oxygen.
I don't think I'm choosing one.
Japanese mythical beings you never knew existed. It's the middle of the night. You're suddenly jolted awake, gasping for air with your breath smelling like hot garbage. You may have just been visited by a kurobozu. Kurobozu means black monk, and they are huge black creatures with black robes and a long tongue. They're also notorious for their terrible stench. A kurobozu will sneak into your room while you're sleeping, lick all over your face, and suck your life energy from your mouth. Anyone visited repeatedly by these beings will become incredibly ill and may die. Reports of its size vary, with one report from the Edo period saying that a kurobozu could grow to several meters tall in an instant. Kurobozu can be found in Pathfinder and Gegege no Kitaro. That's all for today. Like for more content about Japanese mythical beings. Bye!
There is no way in 1,000 years you'd be able to guess what's happening in this photo. Yes, it does look like the apartment of a former frat boy who can't decorate, but it's actually a still from the most evil reality television show to ever exist, where this man was kept in this apartment naked with no food for 15 months, while 17 million people in Japan tuned in. It's also the subject of tonight's episode, so let's dive in. So this is called Sweepstakes Life, and it was a show in Japan in the 90s. To cast the show, a group of men were told to come to a casting office with no other information. A box with a question mark was then wheeled into the room, and each of the men had to pull an envelope. This guy, Nasubi, is the guy that gets the winning slip, and this is where his nightmare begins. He was immediately blindfolded and thrown in the back of a car, where he was brought to this apartment and told to strip. This is also where he's told that anything he needs to survive needs to be won in sweepstakes that are in those magazines, meaning he couldn't eat anything until he won it, which didn't happen for 2 weeks. He wouldn't be let out of the apartment until he won 1 million yen worth of prizes, and he had no idea it would take him over a year to do so. I'm gonna have to do another part to this story, but check out tonight's episode for more.